Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo, and this is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest and many online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited today to be here with the Baroness. It's lovely to be with you.
Hi
So
there.
tell us, what is it that you do? What do you offer at our events, and what are all the things that you do?
Well, I am a photographer, designer, and stargazer. So have a deep interest in the metaphysical world, and I've brought that into my portraits, and I create photo portraits, and I animate and add music to them to create this kind of magical world, which allows me to transport people into their dream worlds and kind of live their dreams.
Very, very exciting. Well, maybe do you want to say a little bit about how you got started doing this and the flavor of how this all evolved and your connection with the metaphysical community? And then I know you have some samples you want to show us too.
Yeah, so I started out in the medical metaphysical community years ago when I was just a teenager. I was searching for something, a tool that would allow me that to believe that life could be anything I wanted it to be. And I was walking around a bookstore and I walked into a tarot book, and it was a workbook, and I used it and trained myself doing meditations through this workbook and a deck of cards. And from 16 on, I have been doing tarot readings for myself and for others. And then as life progressed, I'm artistic and I was drawn to photography. I wanted something that was my own. I had a very artistic brother and I didn't want to do what he did. And then I found myself drawn to it and falling into it. And I started out as a concert photographer when I was young, because that's what you did. You went to concerts. And then I'd evolved and I started shooting people, and I worked for different photographers, and I mentored with artists. And then I used the tarot cards throughout that journey to guide me through life and to hear the voice I couldn't hear. And so that really helped me. And then I went on to years later, I mean, it's 20, 30 years later, here we are in the digital age. And I was just drawn to digital art and creating these magical worlds that I couldn't do as easily as a sole photographer. And I've traveled all over the world and I've moved everywhere, not by choice. It just kind of happened. And I fell into this lifestyle. And, you know, I wasn't always accessible to have studios and to have teams of people. And when I did try to get them on board, part of my journey was realizing I had to do a lot of things myself. And so that led me to master kind of the digital editing, adding in the animation, adding in the music, learning how to do all those fun things. And technology just keeps evolving. And so I stayed current. So now I'm creating these photo portraits, and I can do anything from transforming people into fairies, mermaids, witches, wizards, um, anything that you can imagine, I can now create. And I add my touch of glamour, because if you look up the word glamour, it's actually a magic spell in the dictionary. And so I glamour people into their dream worlds, and I'm having a blast doing it. And I've decided to take it to these events, the MeWe events, and showcase it. And I have event promos that I'm offering where I do a headshot or a full body. And there's different options that I include into that. And then as well, I am bringing in my jewelry. I have a lot of beautiful angel statue style jewelry that I'm bringing in. And I'm also bringing in my tarot readings. And this is new. I'm combining everything for the first time in my life and kind of showcasing all of my talents as a tool to help people and to show them that life is an adventure and it should be lived. And here are all the tools and things you need to keep getting excited about the journey.
So, so exciting. And I don't know if you have them easily accessible. I know you've designed some tarot cards that you use personally. Do you have them where you can show them before we go see the samples of your photography?
I can grab them if we
Okay,
wait.
yeah, it's okay. Let me pause this. All right. All right, great. You got your cards.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So some of the products that I use or have or created along my journey, I created my own style of pinup tarot cards. And I wanted to do something that was fun. And being having a background in graphic design, I incorporated things like I put a beret on the pages. I put a tiara on the queens, and I put a crown on the kings, and I put them within the artwork in different places. And then I looked into, what the meaning of the cards were and picked images. And I picked pinup images. And a lot of the images are by an artist named Gil Elvgreen, a famous 1950s pinup artist who worked in the advertising industry. And I just did this for myself. So I didn't, sell it or anything. But I wanted to make the cards fun. So I did like switchblades for the swords and martini glasses for the cups, and kind of gave it this retro flair. And a lot of that stems from my work as a pinup and burlesque artist, shooting people, photographing them, creating scenes, doing the hair and makeup, adding in those little details. And so I wanted a really fun deck that I could use that played off that inspiration. It's just, I love retro glamour, and I'm a time traveler like all of you. And so that was that's where I began my time traveling, was in the pinup world, and then the old burlesque. And so I also have a deck, the Glamour Circus, which is the name of my photography company, under the Baroness Levy Deluxe. And so I play off that kind of circus idea that life's an adventure.
Great, great. All right. Well, let's see. So it's great to feel your history, like to see where you've come and how all these things integrate together. Did you want to jump to show us some of your photography, or what did you want to do? We didn't even talk about this, but jewelry. Do you have samples of your jewelry? Like, are you?
Yes, I do. So I've come out with these beautiful angel kind of Renaissance Baroque kind of inspired Rococo earrings. So I did these beautiful handmade earrings, and they have my logo. And then I have them in clips and hooks and French hooks. Things can be customized. And I've done details like put in rhinestones on the angels around the waist. And these are beautiful for the coming season, like, with all the activities and that are going to be coming on. These are just kind of a little something to add some fun to the metaphysical world, and kind of really make you feel like you're time traveling, and experiencing that kind of sense of adventure once again. So, and I have shorter versions. I have astrology earrings. I have some beautiful Taurus earrings right here, and they come in gold, silver, and antique. And they all have this kind of statuesque clay, kind of this vintage look. And here's a Libra. And then once again, so that's some of the jewelry, and I have the earrings in different sizes, but I want to keep all the jewelry and things that I do a little bit different than the everyday. So it gives you a little something extra. And so, yeah, and then moving on, I have my photography as well that's going to be with me at the MeWe shows and that I'm doing. So I'd love to share and show you some of that.
Yeah, and so everyone watching knows we're not going to hear the sound right now. We're just going to see the images. But yeah, so go ahead and share, and we will
Okay,
play
so
a
I'll
few
share
of
my
them.
screen here with you. And then this is one of my cosmic portraits. And the thing with my portraits that are different is that I do these animated portraits with music. You won't be able to hear the music on these just because we're talking. But at my show, there's going to be a display on these beautiful little frames where you'll be able to watch some of these images.
Right, so people can put them in
This,
frames, or they can have them just on their computer, like a bunch of
yeah.
different ways that people can have them. All right,
The
great.
animated portraits you can watch on your phone, you can keep on your computer, or you can get one of these digital frames. They're easy to access. You get them on Amazon, and it runs the image. And here, I'll show you a little bit more. This is someone I shot at an event, and she was sitting down, and then I do all the digital work around it. She wasn't dressed up, nothing outrageous. And I added the hair, the crown, all the details of the clothing. Like all this is digital. And then you can see the beautiful mist and the flowers moving. I added that in after. And then here's another one. You can have a portrait done with your spirit animal. You can do some really exciting things. And this I did for a astrologer who wanted to use it for her business. And the wolf was an icon for her, something really important. And she, you don't have to come with all the trimmings, like the fancy dress or the hair and makeup. I can do that digitally. So that's what's exciting. And then I did a self-portrait. This one, you may hear the music a little bit. And I make the eyes move. I do different things, and I go by my intuition, and I use my inspiration to decide what I will do in the image for you. And then for the events, I'm going to be doing a promo where you can do headshot or you can do full body. And there's 2 different prices and all kinds of options. You can add in a friend. And I have to go artistically with the setting. There'll be 4 backgrounds to pick from, but I'll do things like add in elements that I think are unique to it. And then here's another one. This is kind of a take on King Arthur and Morgana and the Witch. So it's kind of these fun kind of scenes that we can do.
Yeah, these are great.
And then here's one I did for my birthday recently. I wanted to be a little kind of an Indian inspired goddess. So you can really have fun with it, but you have to let yourself play, I think. And they're just neat because you can hang up them in your office or your home on a digital frame, and they just run, and they run by Wi-Fi. And I'll have a display at the show where that is mine, that I will show people how it works. And like I said, you can just keep it on your iPhone or your cell phone and view them, and they're fun to send to people. I've even done ones where I've added in like happy birthday or happy Father's Day. You know, so there's all kinds of things you can do. And there's a play on fairy and elf. I mean, I really can create. Oh, there's another one. These are some angel portraits for you. And so I had the dress, but I added everything else in. The hair's not even mine. I added that in. And this is a headshot. So this is an example of like what you could do, which would be great.
Yeah, so great things. People can put them on their websites and things like that to fit in with the way they offer their work. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, lots of fun stuff.
And the dog, did you want to say something about the dog that's in the background
Yeah.
there too? Yeah.
So another kind of element to these photo portraits I started doing was spirit portraits. And this puppy had passed away, and his owner had asked me to do a photo session with him because he knew he was dying. And so I had taken him out on these Jeep rides and took him to the beach and to the forest, and we run around, and I did a portrait session with him. And I added in the animation. Let's see here. Ooh, well, this can't be the only one that doesn't. Let me see if I have him here again. But I added, you'll see it in the video. I did a promo video where well, his eyes, ears, his tongue moves, and there's a butterfly that flies in. I'm having a little glitch.
That's all right. Yeah.
But you get the idea. And then in the promo video that's going to be on the Facebook page, you may want to watch it if for anyone out there who's interested. You don't have to have a photo session with me. You can send me your photo. I can give you a quote and let you know if I can edit that photo. And if the quality's there, and if it is, then I can do the editing, which is taking it apart, creating separate layers, and then animating each one to bring it to life, and then adding the music. So there's a lot of options. And if you're interested, sorry,
stop share at the top. It's okay.
Okay.
You said, so if someone's interested?
So if someone's interested, they can come down to the booth and talk to me, or you can email me, and you can contact me on my website if you want to as well. And I'll give you the contact info when you're ready.
Yeah, well, so go ahead. Yeah, tell us what all your contact info is.
So my contact info is Baroness Lovey Deluxe. And let me spell that for you because it's with one S. And sometimes there's confusion with that. So it's www.BaronessLoveyDeluxe.com. So it's Baroness Lovey Deluxe. And the email is the same at gmail.com. And so if you have questions ahead of time, or you want to book an appointment, or you want to send me an image to see if it's something I can edit for you, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great. I'm so excited to have you and your work and just the blend of all the beautiful things that you're doing at our events. I know a lot of people are interested in connecting with their animals that have passed. So I just see so many ways that the community is going to connect with your work. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. So connect with the Baroness directly and at our events, and you can see all about our events at mewefairs.com, MEWEFAIRS.com. Thank you so much, Baroness.